Mahesh. Mahesh. Mahesh, can you hear me? Mahesh, you are not audible. Hello? Hello?
Hey, Srini.
Hmm. Now I can hear now.
Okay.
The other number, other account, I think one more account is not audible.
Okay.
Just give me a minute. I'm just thinking in the group. Okay, I will start anyway. I'm just doing it already. So we discussed about the data masking and data sharing.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hello?
Yes, is it fine?
So I'm getting an
Still
echo.
yeah.
So other account you can close, no?
Hmm.
Maybe because of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a chance to work on data masking and data sharing.
Data sharing, yes.
Data masking?
Masking, I
No.
did not get the chance, but
Okay.
yeah, I gone through the topic.
Okay. Anyway, so today I'll discuss about the next topic is the time travel and failsafe. Okay, and
Hmm.
also we'll see the cloning feature. So first, let us understand about what is time travel. So time travel. So this feature is basically one of the unique feature available in Snowflake, and this feature is very important when you are willing to restore your data. So when I talk about restoring of data, majority of the times when you go and you drop any tables or you delete any data accidentally or you update any data accidentally in the normal databases, traditional databases, it is not easy to restore, provided you have a backup. But as a developer, I don't have any control over that because the DBA need to help me. Correct now?
Hmm.
But what if I want to restore the data without DBA help? That is where Snowflake came up with this feature of time travel. So time travel is the feature that will allow you to travel back to the past on which day or which time you would have deleted. You can go back to that particular time exactly and you can restore. The first method. Second method, before that time also. Sometimes you may not exactly, you may not know the time. Then what you do? You go before that time because we never do a mistake, accidental delete or update by planning, no? General. So whatever you did, if you exactly know the time, go with a snowflake time travel with a function at that particular date and time. Or before is a one more function where I can go back to before that particular time and I can extract the data and I can go and restore the data. Or before one, like maybe 30 minutes, or before 30 minutes or 40 minutes or 50 minutes also I can go like that with a before offset option. And finally, if you don't know any of this, either date or time or anything. Then we have one more option called before statement. So before statement means we will go and collect the query ID of the maybe update statement which you fired and which caused your mistake. So every SQL statement, Snowflake will automatically create a query ID. That query ID you have to collect, and that query ID will help you to go back to before that query. My data was correct, no? Do you agree that both of you? Before which update statement changed my data?
Yes, Srini.
So I can go before that update statement also my data correct. So that is the final method. So these are the 4 different ways where you can go and restore the data. But when I need to go for this method, and also what are the different options Snowflake is providing? So Snowflake is providing, coming to like the features of this time travel, the first and terminology you have to understand. The terminology means here the data retention period is one term. So what is meant by data retention time? A data retention time means how many days you want to go back. How many days I want to go back? Say 20 days or 30 days or 40 days. And this particular number of days, data retention time in days column we need to configure. But if you don't configure anything, default for any table, permanent table, we have permanent tables, temporary tables, and transient tables in Snowflake. So each table type will have the time travel feature. For all these tables, the default retention time will be by default 1 day. But only for permanent tables, which are permanent tables from enterprise edition onwards, not standard also. For any standard edition, for all the type of tables, your time travel period is 1 day, either permanent or transient or temporary, whatever it is. But when you select this enterprise edition or business critical or virtual private edition, any of this, you have an option to increase the time travel period to 90 days for permanent tables. You are getting right? But only for permanent tables. For the transient and temporary tables, your time travel period will be wherever it will be 1 day only. I cannot go back more than 1 day. Maybe even if you deleted some data 1 week before, if it is a transient table, I cannot go back. If it is a permanent table, I can go back. And for permanent tables, whatever is the standard or enterprise or business critical, any kind of permanent tables, you will have a 7 days of fail-safe period also. What is going to be fail-safe period? Whenever my time travel period is expired, whatever I configured, it can be 20 or 30 or 40 or even 90. Maximum 90. I can't go beyond that. If in 90 days is expired, from the 91st day onwards, your table will be, or database or schema which we configured will be moved to the 7 days of fail-safe period. So during the 7 days of fail-safe period, you will lose your control, and the control will be transferred to Snowflake team, and you need to reach out Snowflake team to help you. But the charges will be there. So the object recovery will be under your control only until the time travel period. Once the time travel period is expired, you need to depend on the Snowflake team for the 7 days of fail-safe period. And this is also applicable only for permanent tables, not for other tables. The fail-safe period applicable for only permanent tables, not temporary and transient. Okay? And how can I go and select the data? Once after my time travel period is I got configured it and my tables are under time travel period, then I need to go and use, there are different functions available, and which objects I can go and like apply time travel, that also you have to understand. If you go and see, these are all objects. I can apply time travel for databases, schemas, tables, all these types of objects. So 1 day by default for standard and maximum, for up to 90 days for enterprise edition onwards. And this can be configured from 0 to 90. And if you go to this table, you will understand better. There is a table where you can understand here the time travel for standard edition tables, whatever the time travel retention period is only 1 day. But enterprise, business critical, virtual private, for all these, I can go up to 90 days maximum. I can change it. That is what I'm telling. So we can go and change it. I can change for whatever the time travel period from 0 to 90 or whatever I want. If you see this table, you will understand better. The temporary tables which are only available under the session. Once you go out of the session, the temporary tables will be automatically deleted. For this kind of tables, my data retention period in days will be 0 to 1 only, default 1, but no failsafe period. But transient tables, which are similar to permanent tables, I have only 1 day time travel period. Default is again 1. I don't add anything, and no failsafe period. Any permanent tables under standard and Snowflake edition, you will see only 0 to 1, but you will have a default 1 day retention and 7 days of failsafe period. And coming to permanent tables for enterprise edition, 0 to 90 is the retention period I can go up to, not more than 90, and 7 days failsafe period will be there. I will show you some examples, then you'll understand better. I hope this is clear. Let me show you some example, then you can ask some queries. So to accommodate this, let us create some databases and then some schemas. So let me create a database with name life insurance data, which I want to use, and this is the database name, and in that I want to use a policy admin schema. I will remove this. So policy admin is my schema. So go back and see, this is my database, and the policy admin schema is empty now, correct? No tables at all. I am going to create, as of now I am pointing to life security DB policy admin schema. So the table I am going to create will be created under this schema only. To accommodate this, I am creating a warehouse also. Now I will create a policy master table which contains the customer policy ID, policy holder name, which product it is, like a product type, like a term or whole or universal, and what is the coverage amount, and what is the status of this particular policy, active or lapsed or claim, and when it is effective. So I am creating a table for that. So this table will have no data because it's a brand new table. Now I'll move down and I'll create one more table with name a transient table. A transient table is basically I want to go and store data, but it may not be that much important. Like when you are using any critical data, always go and use permanent tables only. Any table by default is permanent table. This table is a permanent table. But a transient table is generally similar to permanent tables, but it is not like critical data, and which does not have any failsafe period. And a default retention time for time travel is 1 day for this kind of tables also. And I am creating a temporary table also, where it will create on fly and it will be deleted once you go out of the session. So I am just running this to create a temporary table with a temporary keyword. So 3 tables got created.
Transient table will not get deleted in that case?
No, I need to drop it using drop command.
Okay, it's like only thing is like the update will be only 1 day it will be there.
Exactly. So it is similar to
permanent
permanent tables
table and this one.
similar to permanent tables, but the time travel period is 1 day, no failsafe period.
Okay. Yeah.
But in case of temporary tables, it's similar to transient tables, but it will be automatically
when we log
deleted.
off, it will get deleted.
If I go out of the session now, go sign out and sign in back, you will not see this table at all. For
Okay.
example, you can see here, no? Temp. For example, if I go sign out and sign in back, let me show you. If I sign in back, you should not see the table. That is the nature of a temporary table.
Temporary table.
So let me run this. If I go back and see, I will not see the table because a temporary table will be automatically dropped when I go out of the session. Let me show you. It was there. You saw, right? The table was there.
Yes.
After I created, if I go and see in the same schema, see, it's gone. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So which means that this table will be automatically dropped even if you don't drop it. You do not even need to drop it. Now what I am doing, I am trying to insert some sample data of 50,000 rows. The customer policy information will be inserted. So we can add some set of rows. So I insert some sample data and I am collecting this timestamp into one variable. This is the current timestamp. If I go back and run this, I need to select and see this particular function is going to return me. It's going to give me the current timestamp, whatever you see here. This one I am collecting and storing in a variable here. You got it right? Both of you? Why I am collecting, I'll tell you. Let me create a variable with name good data timestamp and whatever the exact system time it will go and store. And I collected. Now what I do, I will go and try to see what are the tables available. And as of now, you see I created 3 tables, right? The first table is this is a transient table, correct? No? Yes or no?
Yeah.
You can see here is clearly kind is transient. Can you see that? And for temporary tables, it is showing as temporary. For normal permanent tables, the kind is table. When you see table means that is a permanent table. When you see transient table. Temporary tables. But what is the default? I did not configure any data retention period for all these 3 tables. So default should be 1 for all this. Can you see that? Both of you? So now I can change it. If at all I want to change it, I can simply change. How to change it? Alter table. I am changing for permanent table. This one, the second one. So which is already 1 here. I am changing that to maybe 30. So when I run this, my data retention period will be changed to this. And if you go back and see for the second table, what is my value? It's changed to 30. Can you see that? Yes or no? 1 to 30. I can reduce also back to 20. I can go up to 90 days. Up to 90 days is the maximum retention period. I cannot go more than that. This is only applicable for permanent table. If I say 92, it will throw error. Because it's a maximum allowed time is 9 days only. Clear? Similar to that, I can increase.
And for this data retention enablement, the data will be stored, right?
It
Somewhere
will be
in
stored. Snowflake will maintain this
so
data.
that will also be a charge, right?
Correct. Definitely. The time travel storage cost, fail-safe storage cost, they will charge. See, that will go and save our data only, no?
Yeah.
We should be. Oh, we don't have any control to even stop it. It is automatically done.
Yeah.
So whatever you configure, 30 days they 90 days your maintenance means 90 days they will charge you. Correct? No.
Sure. Yeah.
Now I am trying to increase, like already this particular transient table already having 1. Correct? No. Which we saw. I'm just changing that to 0. I can do that. I can reduce and I can reduce to 0 and I can increase back to 1. But I cannot go more than that. Maximum is 1, minimum is 0. If I try to say 2 also, it will throw error because the maximum allowed is 1 only. Even for temporary table also. See, I am trying to increase by the temporary table. Policy admin. This is just this is I am applying. I can also try with temporary table also. It will not, it will throw the same error whatever I got. But what I am trying to do here, I am applying all the new tables under this schema. Alter schema, schema name, policy admin. This one. Any new table will create. I want every table, new table should have a default retention period 10 days. That's what I'm configuring here. Can you see that? So for any new tables in future, I want the data retention time in days by default should be 10 days. I'm configuring like that for its schema level. I can even apply the database level also. Alter database name and set this in value. Then what happens? For all the schemas and their tables, this will be applicable. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. A time travel retention period I can apply. At a database level, schema level, and then table level also. If I apply a database level, what happens? For all the schemas, it will be applicable, including tables. If I applied schema level, only for that schema and under is the schema tables, it will be applied. Clear? Yes or no? If you observe here, the schema policy admin, I have 3 tables, and if you see, there is no fail-safe period for this. The fail-safe storage you can see here the row count, everything it is considering as 0 only. Okay, just a minute. Not this one, you have to see. We need to check in the storage, not here. So let us try to drop this policy master. So policy master, I am just dropping. So already it is available here and it contains some near to almost 1 million rows are there in this. So if you go and see in policy master, you see almost 1 million rows. 5 lakhs rows, I think so. So 5 lakhs rows are there, 500,000. So when I go and simply drop it, if I dropped it, see, it's gone. So generally when I drop like this in other databases, I cannot restore it. Correct, no? Do you agree? But here we have a command called unwrap table name. It will immediately restore. See how fast it is. The table restore. Can you see that? Even it is petabytes of data also, it will restore within fraction of milliseconds. Clear?
Yeah.
This entire table level I can restore. And what if I want to go and schema also I can do that. Drop schema name. So what happens? The entire schema gone now. See? I can say undrop schema name. It will restore. Can you see that? Database also I can do. Okay? So database level, schema level, table level, I can drop and undrop. Now, let us try to see. I accidentally updated policy master table without where class. So it updated all the rows status to lapsed. Okay, it changed. It might have changed to public schema because I dropped this one, right? Policy admin. Again, I need to go back and see automatically. So now I'm just running this. See, almost 5 lakh rows update. Can you see that? Assume I did a mistake now, correct? No? See, without where class means I did a mistake only, na?
Yeah.
You agree that? So what I need to do, if I go back and run this select status count of star, I'll see only one particular status, policy status as lapsed, and total, all total 1 lakh
50.
rows are there. Which is, sorry, 5 lakh rows are there, which is not correct, no? But how to get this data back? Then what I do, I will get the query ID first. I will get the query ID. So to get the query at the most recent query executed, like, and also that to update policy master set status is my query, right? Which I executed this one. I'm just searching for this particular text, and for that query, what is the query ID? It will give us. See, this query ID, we are simply assigning to QID. So QID will have this value, correct now? So now I use QID. $QID means the value which we just got now. Similar to that, we stored the time also, if you remember, somewhere. Do you remember that? This one. This will have the time when we collected that. That is before this update statement only, right? This time we collected. This good data time, the TS, which we stored, this is before this update statement was executed. Correct or not? Do you agree that? Which means that before this update statement was executed, my data should be correct, no? At that time, what I collected.
Yeah.
So I'll go and first select that one. So what I do at this time, whatever you see at this particular time, dollar good data timestamp is the time when we collected the time. When I run this, at this time my data was correct. So my status should be not lapsed, correct? No, it should be active. If you observe here, you'll see there is a active status for some rows. Can you see that?
Yes.
Not lapsed. If I simply select only select start from policy master, you will see all lapsed status. Can you see that? All the 5 lakhs rows. But when I selected at that particular timestamp, my data is correct and I got the correct data. Can you see that? So what I am going to do, I can simply create a table out of this data, correct or not? Create table name as select I can do, right? Generally, it's correct data. And then I can drop the old table and I can rename the new table with this policy master, no? If I don't know the time, I can even say before also here. See, before also my data correct only, no? At the time or before time, according to this time, before this time also my data correct only, na? You agree? See, at this time or before this time, my update statement was executed after that only. So if you know the exact time, use it here. If you don't know the exact time, use before that time. If you even don't know the time, use at offset. What is my data before 5 minutes ago? It will give me the correct data only. Can you see that? Yes or no? And if I don't know the exact time, I can also use the query ID also. The query ID also will give me. The query ID also is going to give us the correct data. See? The query ID also is giving us the correct data only. If you go and observe here, before query ID, what was my data before the update statement is also correct only. Can you see that? These are the 4 different ways how we can restore the data. I hope that is clear. Now let us understand what is a zero copy cloning also. So whenever assume that you got requirement to, you have production database of 1 terabyte and you got a requirement to create the backup databases for development and QA and then UAT. Same replica. Then how much additional storage is required to create a backup database from production of 1 terabyte? I ask you. My production database size is 1 terabyte. I want to create 3 backup databases. So how much additional storage is required? I'm asking. Mahesh.
Yes, Srini.
So I have a production database of 1 terabyte.
Hmm.
And I got a requirement to create 3 backup databases for development, QA and UAT. How much amount of extra required?
Actually, physically 3 TB,
Correct.
but
Physically, I'm asking physically only.
physically 3 TB required.
So that 3 TB I need to buy, right? Storage.
Yeah.
That is extra cost for me.
Yes, yes.
But in Snowflake, we have a feature called zero copy cloning, which will eliminate the process of extra storage.
Extra storage. In initial days, we have discussed this.
The same thing.
You just said that thing. Yeah, you told us that later classes will discuss.
Yeah, the cloning production data into development test environments for our unit testing in the lower environment we will create. Correct, no?
Yeah.
And also taking the backup of your data sometimes. Correct, no? So for all these use cases, this will be very helpful. And the development and testing environments to isolate them. Sometimes you need to take a backup of your data. Sometimes other teams will ask you to do for some experimentation. And sometimes you create some sample database for demos also. Correct, no? For all these use cases, instead of physically creating the databases, what we do? We create them as a cloned databases. So cloning will not consume any additional storage. Simple. How we can say that? Observe here this particular table. Employee is the source table and this is the cloned table. So whatever the cloned micro partitions, like Snowflake will divide the data into a group of micro partitions. And each micro partition is a file of records. And if you observe here, my employee table is having MP1, MP2, MP3 like that, up to MP5. And the corresponding 5 micro partitions are available after cloning. But you can ask me, what happens if I change this main table? Will it impact this one? Or what if I change this one? Will this impact this one? Correct, no? People have that question, right? When you change any production data, will it impact the cloned table? Or if you change any data in cloned table, will it impact the production table? You need to have that clarity. So the conclusion here is no reflection will happen, no impact. If you change anything here, it is independent. Can you see that? MP7, MP8, I changed some data. Snowflake created these two because these are independent to this table. And MP6 is independent to this one because I changed some data in this cloned table. So it is only creating a new micro partition for the changed data. And this will not reflect here. And these two, whatever created because of some change in this table, will not reflect here. Clear? The conclusion is the change whatever you apply will not reflect the other tables. The cloned table will not reflect. Whatever you do, the changes in the cloned table also will not reflect the main table. And how to create a cloned table? My table is sales data in the original DB is my database, and I am cloning a new database with the name cloned DB from this original DB. Can you see that? So, but this original DB will consume storage, but this will not consume storage. This is the storage for this cloned DB is 0. Hope that is clear.
Yeah. And for developmental testing purpose, if there is any updates happen in the data, it will not reflect in
Reflect,
the
not
code, right?
reflect. Independent, correct.
Independent.
That is what we need also, no?
Yeah.
If the production data changes, if development will change, that's okay. Because we need
Mm.
most recent data. But if you change in development, production will reflect, that is not correct, no?
Mm.
So both are independent, so no impact will be there, correct.
Why I asked is that I felt that there could be some configuration, additional configuration,
No, nothing like that.
apart from the
Whatever,
clone in DB
yeah,
clone.
whatever you apply, that will be automatically
Mm.
will be applicable for only
Clone DB.
clone table are separate. Both are separate.
Mm. Mm.
So to create this particular cloning, let me create some sample tables. I'm just creating some database with name financial core prod and also creating a schema, and then I'm creating a warehouse also to accommodate this. Now I'm getting a table with name loan portfolio and also creating a customer KYC table because this is a assume some banking data, and I'm inserting some sample data also. 1 lakh loans I'm inserting. Okay. And then the KYC data of the customer also I'm inserting. So I'm just collecting the production like a snapshot timestamp. We collected this earlier also, if you remember, in the time travel. So I'm collecting for the same purpose to cloning. So I want to
Mm.
show how to clone with the time travel as well. Okay. So
Mm.
create or replace database. I'm just cloning this UAT database from production. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So this is going to create a backup database for production with name ThinCore UAT.
Pin
I can,
code. Yeah.
I can create a development also. I can get any number of databases.
Yeah.
There is no restriction. So one more database I'm cloning. So like that, I can get multiple databases, and we can even verify the tables. The count of star is independent, 1 lakh rows, and even for the production also it is 1 lakh. And I'm trying to update the UAT database table loan portfolio. The status I'm updating for all the customers for whose loan amount is greater than this amount. I want to make them as default because of market crash. So I'm just doing that. I did that in the UAT environment. It should not reflect the production, right? As per our discussion, correct or
Mm.
not? This
Yeah.
is a cloned database in that in the schema. In this table, I updated, but this is not going to reflect my production database table, right?
Mm.
So I'm just testing that. So I'm just confirming that the UAT database count may have changed. The default I see 20,092 customers are defaulters. But the same thing if I apply, I should get 0 because I have not changed anything in production. Can you see that? Correct, no?
Mm.
Whatever
Mm.
the changes you performed in UAT is not reflecting in production means both are independent, right?
Yeah.
I hope you got a confirmation now. Correct?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Similar to that, if I go back and want to create a cloned schema, I'm cloning a schema here, not table. I'm
Mm.
creating a dev sandbox schema for development team by using the lending schema. The lending schema is nothing but whatever this one fan core UIT. In that lending schema contains some two tables. I'm just cloning that with another schema with name lending dev sandbox. So you will see one more schema here where you see in the lending. See, there is one more schema. Can you see that?
Mm.
So that got created. Now my development team, I can give them access to this schema. Correct, no?
Mm.
They can use this sandbox so that they can test whatever they want. They can do changes, everything they can do independently. This is not going, but the changes what you made here will not reflect here, right? Correct, no?
Yeah.
So that is what you have to do. You need to, I'm creating a table in the table within, I'm just cloning. I mean, cloning in the UAT database lending, I'm just cloning the debug KYC table where a data scientist want it. So I'm just cloning from the lending schema customer KYC table. I'm getting a new table. You got it right? Maybe one data scientist asked this table. So I'm just, instead of giving access to this table, I am cloning and giving the access. So that no storage will be consumed and the data scientist can use this table however he want. Clear?
Yeah.
Now, how to use time travel with failsafe? This is time travel with cloning. So I am creating a table with the name lending loan portfolio snapshot in the lending schema in the UAT environment, and I am cloning the old data of loan portfolio because we changed something in loan portfolio, right? Here, I changed here. Can you see that? These 20,000 customers I changed. I don't want to keep them. I want my old data. So how to go to old data? We collected the time, right? Somewhere here. And at this time, my data is correct, no? Do you remember that? At this particular time, before running this update statement, my data was correct, right? Yes or no? Are you getting my question?
Yes, with
So I'm just going to use the time and I'm going to see this production snapshot timestamp. At this timestamp, my data is correct. So I'm simply cloning the old loan portfolio data with loan portfolio snapshot table name and cloning it. See, a new table has been created. You go back and see in the lending portfolio in the UAT database, in the lending schema, I should see one more table with name snapshot. Can you see that? With the correct data. Similar to that, I want to see 2 minutes ago, what was the data? I want to create one table. So I am using a offset here. Can you see that? How to create? Create or replace table. This is the table name 2 minutes ago I just added and clone from the loan portfolio to what is 2 minutes ago. So a table got created. Can you see that? So this is how you need to create. And I can even create a masking on this also. Data masking we discussed about. What I am trying to do here. For the tax ID column, I am just applying a masking, columnar masking. The account admin can see the tax ID as it is. Apart from account admin, others should see the tax ID like only the last 4 digits should be displayed. As of now, I created a masking policy tax ID mask and I am applying that to the tax ID column in the customer KYC table by using this tax ID mask here. So when I run this will be applied and as a customer I can go and select the tax ID because I am a account admin, so I can do that, correct, no? But when I switch this role to security admin, for example, when I select the same column, see the policy, the masking policy may have applied. Can you see that? Correct or not? See, I can apply a masking policy on the cloned table also. Clear?
Yeah.
That is how you need to understand. The table storage matrix. This is going to show me what is the storage these cloned tables are consuming. You can see here, I created so many cloning tables, but all the active bytes 0. Can you see that? Correct or not? Only for the lending table, I can see. Only for one table, I can see, but most of the data is time travel bytes, active bytes is 0, which means that it is not consuming any storage. Clear? Any questions? Do you understood what is zero copy cloning and time travel and what is fail safe? And what are temporary, permanent, and transient tables? You have
No.
any?
What's
clear?
knowledge today? We have to go through it once or twice.
Yeah, please go through. But you understood the concept, right?
Yes.
But
Got it.
I'll share the same script.
Hmm.
You please try to work on this.
Yeah.
This is with the sample
Definitely,
data
sir.
also. That's why I'm asking you. Correct, no?
Yeah.
This is a banking
Yes.
data which I gave an option to load sample data and test it, which will make your life easier also.
Hmm.
Will you do that?
Sure, definitely.
Yeah. Tomorrow I will discuss about the views, metallized views. We have normal
Yeah.
views, and then secure views, and also semantic views. And we also will see dynamic tables as well. I hope we discuss dynamic tables, huh? No, right?
No.
No, we'll discuss both tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay then, yeah.
Yes. Thank you.